We got Mom! Oh, sorry, Mom.
On the camera, you went from like, oh.
So, well, hi guys, we're here together. Do you see? That's my brother.
Ow!
I just poked him. And what are we doing today, Zachary?
We're doing our podcast, Jake.
Well, no, I get that, but like, what are we talking about?
We've got the Mandalorian review and how it went from wow to wow. We've got movie commentaries for November. Johnny Depp is fired.
Okay, without just saying the actual titles, just give a brief summary.
Like, you got some reviews, you've got some sarcasm, you've got some little bit of a connection fit.
Okay, I'll do it. You're right. That's good. I tried. See, he was just complaining that I don't involve him enough, and I was just trying to involve him more, and he just...
There's a lot to talk about. That better?
I mean, I guess a little. I mean, it adds no suspense. If it means anything, we have 16 banners, so that means there's shit there to discuss. Let's just jump into
The King gets a reboot. Take that as you will.
Sure, we'll start there. Zachary, read the sentence.
Rock is planning Scorpion reboot.
Now, is there anything to add to this?
We do know what studio is doing it.
That's great. That's new information. What is it?
MGM is working on the reboot.
Well, that gives me slight hope.
Because MGM worked on the Mummy along with Universal with Brendan Fraser, and that's who also worked on the Scorpion King films.
Mm-hmm.
There is rumors of Brendan Fraser possibly returning for a small cameo at the end, tying it in, which I think would be weird. Yeah, I agree. And we also know that The Rock is not playing Scorpion King. He is a producer on the film, and he's getting someone new to play it. We're guessing it's an origin story for him. So it's a reboot of the reboot.
Now, I guess the moral of the question here, because there really isn't, I mean, there is stuff like, he just ran through the whole news article. Basically, does this make you excited?
Not a damn bit.
Me either, which is why it was confusing when you added it to the list. I guess there's somebody out there who's probably like, oh my God, it's coming back. And if that is you, please let us know in the comments down below why. Stop it. So, we have another one.
Fatality.
Well, fatality. So I was kind of excited to go to the movies this December, and well, I don't think that's gonna happen. Now, it could happen. Wonder Woman has still yet to move. We'll discuss that when it actually happens. We should know within the next week or so. But Fox decided to abort mission, and by abort I mean never come back, because they don't even have new release dates, which is not a bad thing per se. Also expect every movie from January to I would say probably January and February to also abort their mission, because yeah, it's just not going well for movie theaters right now.
So here's my theory about both Death in the Nile and Free Guy, which is the films we were talking about that moved. I think that Death in the Nile will probably do a PVOD.
Can't.
Why not?
Contracts. Fox literally put in their contract, you have to release their movies into theaters. That's the only reason why they not been put on anything. Or I bet you anything, both these, all Fox movies would have been probably placed on PVOD already by now. So that's the reason why they're technically not allowed. They will be held until 2022 if that is what it takes.
Well, then let's not talk about them.
So yeah, I'm just
I wasn't excited for Death in the Nile anyway.
Oh my God, that trailer gave me cold chills. Not at home, keyword, but in the theater when I saw it in the theater.
And honestly, I've seen Free Guy now, so I'm good.
I still think it looks phenomenal. Cannot wait for it. Probably will be a favorite movie, even if I have seen it 1,000 times in the trailer alone, because the movie theater definitely do like to play it. That's for sure. Oh, we'll
continue on with the fatality. They have postponed indefinitely till theaters can open again for Mortal Kombat, which honestly is not a huge hit for Warner Brothers, to be honest, because they're
a slight hit.
I don't think so. I don't think so, because they are the last big video game film to come out had a really weird circumstance when it came out, which was Sonic the Hedgehog. It is still one of the most profitable films of 2020, and it's a video game film. Now, granted, it didn't have a lot to go with it. Mortal Kombat will be officially going into what we are dubbing batshit 2021. And so I don't think it'd be a bad idea for Mortal Kombat to get moved to 2022.
Well, this is the only reason why I think it could be a bad thing. we are finally going to win this battle between Marvel and Warner Brothers. Shang-Chi and the whatever the title is,
Legend of the Ten Rings.
There you go. It's exactly Mortal Kombat, just PG-13. At least that is what the pitch is. And so if Mortal Kombat came out before it, then we can say Marvel finally stole something. And honestly, I just wanted the gratification.
Nah, and here's my rebuttal to that. Even if,
of course, you have a rebuttal.
Yeah, because even if Shang-Chi came out first, no offense to Shang-Chi at all, Mortal Kombat's been around a lot longer.
It does not matter. It does not matter. We have been proven time and time again. Time is not of essence. It's all about who gets to the movie complex first, and that's why it sucks.
Well, Mortal Kombat then already has done it.
Well, but those are questionable films.
The first one's not questionable.
It is questionable. No. The whole series is questionable. Let's move on to Rocky. So I put this as a perfect title because I just couldn't believe it. Rocky joined Suicide Squad because Rainbow didn't want to.
So
unpack that, Zachary.
So James Gunn announced through Instagram that Sylvester Stallone has an unannounced role in Suicide Squad. We do not know who the character is.
I think it might be.
We do not know who the character is right now. Everybody has guesses. I personally think it's your little guy.
Yeah, I
think it's King Shark.
I think it's King Shark's voice. Yeah, I agree.
So Jake, let me ask you, as a ambassador,
I'm a little sad about it.
King Shark fan, how would you feel when that shark starts talking?
Well,
my person go around and get the choppy chomp.
Here's the thing: they announced that King Shark is a stupid person. They announced that he is like square, like nothing's going on in that brain. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. And so I'm going to point you to an amazing actor who could play that because he already did for 2 seasons. Moving on to a 3rd season as one of my favorite characters of all time.
Oh, Jim Gordon.
Ron Funches. I personally believe why ruin something that's not broken already? Sure, he only does voice acting normally, but this is a voice acting role because King Shark, he doesn't have to do all the model work for it. That's already played by the Warren in the prison that they're in. So that's already taken care of. I don't know. Sylvester Stallone, I just don't think he's a great actor, even a funny great actor. I mean, sometimes I laugh because it's so bad that you just have to laugh at him. But 96% of the time, I just want to cry for him and hope that he gets acting lessons. So, no, I would much prefer someone who is a little better. If you guys did not know, I am not a huge fan of both Sylvester Stallone and
Schwarzenegger.
Schwarzenegger. I much prefer, and Sylvester Stallone's defense, I much prefer Sylvester Stallone over Arnold Schwarzenegger, but I don't prefer either.
If I could point to anybody to go watch for Stallone, if you have ever seen any of his work, obviously First Blood. His first film he ever did, First Blood.
I'd say Rocky.
No, I go First Blood. I go First Blood over Rocky.
Yeah, Rocky.
If you're gonna watch a Rocky film, go watch Creed. I think his performance in Creed is much better than his own movie, in my opinion.
Wow,
but if you want to watch a standout role for me, it's Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I think him being an original Guardian, having that conversation with Yondu on the ice planet about Yondu losing his colors, I think is very well done. And then the emotional stuff they do with him at the end of 2 is very well done too.
Can I raise my hand to ask a question?
Do you not remember Sylvester Stallone?
Did I truly just block that?
Yeah.
Because I feel like I just blocked that.
Yeah.
Okay, well, now I'm not even shocked he's in Suicide Squad. Okay. James Gunn playing his favorites.
He's allowed.
It's Hey, it's all about, we've talked about it before, a lot of people talk about it. It's all about who you know in Hollywood will get you the gigs that you want.
Why do you think Michael Rooker's in the movie?
Well, Michael Rooker's a good actor, so that's the reason why.
And?
Well, yes, and obviously, but still, we can all agree that he's a better actor. Come on.
You were just on a rampage today.
No. Here, let's go to something kind of happy.
Is this though?
Kind of happy. I said kind of. It was a kind of.
So Friends has officially announced that they start shooting their reunion. Now, let me ask you something, Jacob. What was the big headline for HBO Max when it was supposed to debut?
Well, pandemic is all I got to say on that one. So they're supposed to shoot it in March. We still have yet to really kind of guess what this is about because
I can probably tell you now.
There was rumors that they were changing it because they said the pandemic, just like with Grey's Anatomy, gave people a prescriptive and that they maybe want to do an actual like reunion episode of the characters coming back together instead of the actors coming back together. So we'll have to wait and see. March is when everything is supposed to start to open up again, and so it does make sense that it's going to be shooting in March. So that's not, and I have a strong feeling that it probably, if they are just going to do a roundtable interview in the set, which was the original plan, it won't take that long to edit and get out. And so I could see a very easy turnaround as well. And so they might not want to shoot a whole hour-long reunion episode because they want the turnaround to be fast because they promised it over.
Could you imagine that though? What if they got the Sprouse twins to come back and be Ben? We find out what happened to Ben after the show ended.
Zach, are you in Ben? I tell you, it's not.
It's sad.
I mean, a lot of people ask it, but I just don't care.
But speaking of reunions, going from this, HBO Max already has a reunion coming out for Thanksgiving, and that would be the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air,
which I don't know anything about since Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was never one of my favorites. It does make me cry. Oh, the emotional scenes are just perfect. Are perfect, but it's still not my favorite. Zachary much preferred it.
I love the show,
so he can talk about it.
So this is how I think the Friends reunion is going to go. Like you said, I don't think that they have enough time, or B would want to honestly do that. So this is, if you want to know what the Friends reunion is going to be like, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air special is kind of how it's going to be. They're going to be on the Central Perk set, talking about memories of the show, maybe bringing some people back, maybe see Dylan Cole on the reunion, maybe, that kind of stuff. But the huge thing about this special is that for the past 30 years, the original Aunt Viv from the show and Will have absolutely atrociously hated each other, refused to talk. She didn't want to come back for anything. She is going to be in this reunion to remember Phil, the guy who played Phil. And this will be the first time that the entire cast has seen this lady since she left the show 30 years ago, which is crazy to think about. But I'm very, very, very excited to see this. I'm a huge Fresh Prince fan. I'm not happy with this whole reboot situation that's going on right now that Will wants to do, making it a drama. I don't think it's going to work at all. Personally, I'm very excited to see this. And plus, to get the whole cast together is...
I don't know if I agree with that last statement, but that's okay. Continue.
No, elaborate. What do you mean?
Well, since Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was only super great when it was a drama, I think I would actually much prefer the TV show as a drama.
Difference of opinion. I
didn't think it was that funny.
I am very excited to see this reunion together. I think it's going to be really cool. And I can tell everybody the best scene in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is when Will walks in on his mom and her date making out, and he goes, "Mama, no!" And he goes, "I'm calm. I can handle myself." Looks behind his shoulder. "Mama, no!" It's so good. Oh, yeah.
All right, since we're just kind of running through these really short ones, I think this is going to be I had a feeling this was going to be a shorter podcast just because we talk faster when we're together.
We really do.
It's true, and we go through stories a lot. Stop it. So we're going to go over to David has found his new home, which Zachary was very much curious about.
Is this David, like Schitt's Creek David?
No, not David. That David. David Fincher, the director, who historically doesn't direct a lot of movies. He's known for directing movies, but he found his new home. Netflix has graced him the privilege of directing 4 new films for them, untitled projects, because they have a very strong thinking. Mank. I don't know why I said Mink. Mink is not that great. Mank, which comes out December 4th for everybody on the actual website. We're both really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be fucking phenomenal. Probably one of my favorite movies of the year. Or probably craft-wise, it's definitely probably be my top 5 for the year, I should say. But he has 4 more. And this is coming out of the fact that they said that they're probably not doing a season 3 for Mindhunter. Now, if you guys remember, I think it was 4 or 5, maybe even 6 months ago, they said they canceled Mindhunter. And there was a rumor going around that they canceled it because it was so expensive and they can't figure out a way to shoot it during the pandemic, which is the reason why it wasn't coming back for season 3.
Sounds like another show Netflix did.
There's a lot of shows Netflix did this too. This was not the only one. Netflix was a cannibal when it came to the pandemic.
Oh, I know. Believe me, I know.
Oh, it's okay. It hurts. Not for that. We have different shows that it hurts for. But because of that, and he doesn't believe that they'll come back, he also wants to wait 6 years before he would shoot another season, so the characters are much older than what they are, and he wants to use the same actors and things. This is a common new thread. There's a movie that was now shooting, that's starting shooting, that's going to take 20 years to shoot. to see the characters. It's just like
Boyhood.
Yeah, it's in the same vein of
Let
Boyhood.
me get this straight. This film starts shooting in 2020, and we won't see it till 2040.
Well, actually, probably further than 2040 because they have to. I'm sure they'll edit while they go, but like I really hope they do.
Take a halfway between the decades and go. Okay, we're gonna stop here. We're gonna go ahead and edit this part. Let's get to the adults.
But yeah, so I think this is really fun, really, really exciting. It gives him things to do. I think.
I absolutely be nervous about with this though.
Sure.
Netflix announces every other day that they have a partnership with somebody that either occasionally works out, like Fincher, hopefully, or that doesn't work out. The brothers from Game of Thrones.
That's still going on.
Adam Sandler.
That's still very much going on.
But the results.
It doesn't matter if the results aren't great. The partnerships are still very much there.
We haven't seen anything from Game of Thrones, guys.
It doesn't matter. Oh, yeah, it's because they're still filming it. They were filming it during the pandemic. Or they were filming it before the pandemic happened.
I believe when I see it.
Yeah, so, judging before you know. Speaking of the pandemic, let's talk about the man who tried to popularize the pandemic. Now, ironically, we're not talking about Sonberg here. Even though I kind of really want to watch it, even though I don't want to watch it.
I'm not going to support that movie.
Oh, I'm going to watch it in a different way. Okay, so this new movie that he is helming himself, I'm only bringing up, we've talked about Michael Bay in the past where we're really not supporting him. I still don't think
this is a Jake Gyllenhaal movie, right?
This is a Jake Gyllenhaal movie. He will
Gyllenhaal?
I don't care. He is in talks to star. It's which means the deal is probably pretty much closed. Probably leaked to the public to see if it was worth it or not. I personally hope the outcry is get the fuck away from him, but hey, that's just me. It's going to be a thriller called Ambulance. I don't like that title. It's supposed to shoot in early 2021, probably March. No distributor has come on board, and the plot details are being tightly under wrap. The script was written by Chris Fedek, James Vanderbilt, Bradley Fisher, and Will Shirk, who I don't know. And yeah, the plan is to try to get it out at the end of 2021, so have a fast turnaround. So it's probably going to be a low budget kind of thriller, which wouldn't be the first time that Jake Gyllenhaal has done this.
And also, I think Michael Bay is stronger when his budgets aren't over $100 million.
Yeah, explosion. There's an ass cheek.
Pretty much. My favorite film of his is still the one with Jack Reacher, Krasinski, the military one.
Oh yeah. See, if it's something like that, it's much more respectable.
Then I don't mind watching it. But if it's
I still don't think I'll go watch it.
But if it's anything like the remainder of his filmography, minus Pain and Gain, I'll watch Pain and Gain all day, every day.
Hey, you talk a lot of shit about Transformers, but you were obsessed.
I was.
You are a big reason why that franchise continued to move forward.
And now I realize what mistake that was.
It was a huge mistake. I saw the fourth one 6 times in theaters.
And you support number 2.
I just enjoyed the action sequences.
I tell you what, that should be a commentary we do.
It really shouldn't, because I like my happiness, and I've watched way too many things about my childhood that I enjoy that I've ruined. And that's something I don't want to ruin.
What about Transformers 4? Your second longest commentary.
That could be ruined. That's okay. I can let go of that one.
So you want to do that? I think it'd be fun.
I don't think it'll be that fun.
I think it'd be fun.
I think
we should get the... Okay, never mind.
I'm not ready for that yet.
We need to talk about it.
It'll be there. See? We're getting close. We're running out.
Okay, so why'd you put it like this? Because
I'm just really excited about WandaVision. So WandaVision, baby.
I'm excited, but...
Nope. You're right. We ain't talking about it.
No, we can't.
No.
I'm excited about the release date. I'm excited we got a release date. But did you Did you read about the Disney CEO's chairman talk for December and why they pushed it to January?
I mean, I don't really care. I'm just happy I'm getting it.
They want Soul to control the end of the
month. Which we talked about. It makes sense. Soul needs time to. You can't just release something 4 days after a movie comes out. It needs time to flourish, Zachary.
I think Soul should go to January. That's just
no. Soul should be Christmas released. They need TV show, movie, TV show, movie, TV show. Hopefully 2. Let's throw in some extra content. I don't really see that happening, because if you go back, we have gotten a steady amount of new content for Disney Plus. It's just 1 a month.
Yeah.
Which is fine. They don't really have a lot. The pandemic really helped. Really hurt them because I don't really think it helped. but it really hurt them and stuff. And I can understand. I get it. And also, this secures if they put it out in December, then people are like, oh, we'll only do a monthly, But this secures that more people are probably going to choose a year-long subscription than a month-long subscription. See, I'm not complaining.
You're not paying for it.
Precisely. My problem. And so it's going to be a year-long subscription. I think it makes sense business-wise. I'm super duper looking forward to it. The set photos looked amazing. The interviews were phenomenal. Everyone looks like they're having a great time. I love the fact they filmed on an actual soundstage
with a live studio audience.
And everything in those live studio audiences is all practical effects, which is phenomenal. I think it sounds just like a treat, and I'm very much looking forward to it.
I am too.
Or you gave me that nervous look, and I didn't want to talk about it if you weren't, because it's just going to be so good. I know it. I can feel it in my bones, and if it's not, oh my god, I'm going to be so disappointed. I probably won't support Marvel.
Really?
I watched Black Widow. Endgame's over. What else do I have looked for?
Oh, I don't know. The giant multiverse thing we've been looking forward to?
Yeah, but this sucks, and that's probably going to suck, and everything's going to suck, and I'm just going to cry. Okay, let's move on. Now you hurt my feelings. God, why do you do this to me?
Well, then when you get the rest of that way, you just, never mind.
You mean that?
Yeah.
No, Zack, great. We talked about it a lot.
But it needs to be mentioned.
We are going to mention.
Okay, fine.
This is all Zachary.
Grace Randolph, one of the people that we like to talk about a lot, did another interview with Zack Snyder involving his Netflix film Army of the Dead, which I'm very looking forward to. I love when he does something of the Dead movies. His Dawn of the Dead movie is very, very good.
His only other Dead movie.
But I think it's also very good.
It's his first film, yeah. It put him on the map. I agree. I mean, you have to.
But we also found out some new information about the Snyder Cut. Now, Jacob took this the wrong way when I said it earlier. You just
got to be very clear what you say.
The portions of shooting that he's been doing with Amber Heard, Jared Leto, and Joe Manganiello is only 4 minutes worth of content going into the Snyder Cut, not only adding on to what he shot in 2016 when making the original film.
See, I think that is much more well presented than most of the articles that are out there right now saying that the Snyder Cut's only going to be 4 minutes longer.
That's not
than the Justice League movie we got in 2016.
Let me ask you a question there, Internet. If that's the case, how is it a 4-hour, 4-part miniseries? Answer me that, buddy.
See, that's exactly what I'm saying. But hey,
the Internet's the Internet.
People got people.
So what my theory was originally involving Manganiello and Leto sounds more to be true.
Yeah.
Involving them being part of the end credit scene that Snyder wanted to shoot, which Legion of Doom. Anyway, and the other lady probably going to shoot some stuff with the water guy. Okay. And we also they've been looking for the 2016 suits. Apparently that's been a problem because all they have right now currently for Wonder Woman is the 84 suit. And for Batman, all they have is the Pattinson suit. They can't find Affleck's suit.
Maybe he took it home. He's like, I'm burning it.
No, they found the Batman v Superman one. They can't find the goggles. The one
exactly. And he probably burned it.
But the hardest one for them to find right now is the Flashes, which is kind of like an agglomeration of that whole situation. And we also know that Darkseid is going to have 2 outfits in the movie. We now know he's going to have his gladiator form that we see in that trailer. We eventually get to the point where he has his armor on, I think possibly towards the end of it. That's all the information we got. Snyder talked about how he was working with Leto. He doesn't understand all the hypocritical stuff they talked about with Suicide Squad, about him sending rats to people. Apparently he was very nice on set. That wasn't a full set experience with Leto, so I don't know how that. And Manganiello hopes that that he can come back for Ben Affleck's miniseries. What? Manganiello?
Said Manganiello. Oh, okay. I think that's a move
Joe
on.
Manganiello is very excited to hopefully come back for Ben Affleck's series. And I like what Snyder was commenting on about Catwoman for Ben Affleck's series. The girl from the House of Bly Manor, not Bly Manor, Haunting Hill House.
Oh, yeah. Phenomenal.
I think she'd be a great older Selena Kyle.
I agree, but also, like, don't take this wrong. Warner Brothers, DC, I love you.
Oh, boy.
We know I love you. I, in this relationship between us, fight for you more often.
It's very, very true.
Okay? So, anything I say is out of love. That's
why I'm taking a drink.
This is probably not so. You're not going to think so. But just know that it is. I really, because she's a phenomenal actress, wish she got a better role. Now, hold on. Let me continue.
Oh boy.
Because it hurts to say, the Batman series probably going to be great if it happens. If it happens. But I would rather see her in the movies than stuck on another streaming service. And he will not upgrade to the movies. That's been confirmed over and over again. The Snyder Cut verse will stay on there.
Right.
And so I don't know.
But don't you think Ben Affleck would treat that series more as a
I don't care.
6-part film
But
more
guess
than a
what?
series?
Yeah, but I want to see her on the big screen. And I would prefer...
We are going to with Zoe Kravitz.
No, not Catwoman.
Yeah, that's who's...
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the actress who they want to play older Catwoman for
Ben Affleck. Watch her on Netflix twice.
That's what I mean. I want to see her in the movies. I want to see her on the big screen.
Maybe that's her decision.
No, obviously it's her decision. I think, and also being a part of Warner Brothers hurts your career. It's just, I mean, more like DC. Hurts.
Speaking of Warner Brothers hurting your career.
Oh yeah, I guess we can.
Good segue, buddy.
Not really. Let's go to Peacemaker. Oh, got new shit. No, it's fine. We'll come back. So I'm gonna start.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I think we should look at this fairly.
I agree.
I do. I don't know if you do. So I'm going to start.
I agree.
So Johnny Depp is fired from everything? Question? Now, to be honest with you, that's not fair. That's a clickbait title. I get it because I wanted to, not because I should have. We get that. We're moving on. He was fired. Yeah, he was fired in London, of all places, which is interesting. He was fired from Crimes of Grindelwald. Which is the studio that we didn't think was going to fire him. Ironically, we thought it was going to be Disney. He's definitely probably not going to be.
Is fire a strong word? I thought they asked him, and he respectfully said, "I will go."
Well, here's the thing, Zachary. That tends to mean, honey, you got to leave. Now they did pay him like
8-figure. They paid him his full 8-figure salary,
which is
for
like
the one scene that he shot.
$1.5 million.
Which, by the way, I guarantee you, the scene they're going to use is the back of his head.
Or they probably won't use it at all, and then it'll just be on the cutting room floor, and they just paid $1.5 million for nothing. And it's life. But obviously he got fired because of all this stuff going on with the things we talked about last week.
Mm-hmm.
And
they already have his replacement.
No, it's. I don't think.
We have to talk about it though because it's being talked.
No, I don't think Mads Mikkelsen. Thank you. I don't think he is going to be the new Grindelwald.
Neither do I.
Because personally, it was just very badly well received. I do have to say though, I think they should take this as a sign to just cancel it.
Mm-hmm.
Just get rid of it.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want it.
Nope.
I can honestly say there's a lot of people out there who don't want it. It's not just like we're just two people sitting.
I can guarantee you, Warner Bros., if you release the Fantastic Beasts Chapter 3, it's going to be the most ill-reviewed and the worst box office Harry Potter film world universe movie ever put to theater. I guarantee you.
I completely agree. Well, I don't know if I
It'll be a box office bomb.
It will be a box office bomb. I think that's better to be put. It will be a box office bomb, and haven't you guys had enough of those? Yeah. Yeah, so how about we just jump ship?
Yeah.
That sounds good. So yeah, I feel like that's the only thing that really needs to be talked about from here because that's the big story. I've seen other things on the internet and stuff around it, but until we figure out what he's gonna do next, which is continue to fight this, which is his choice.
Yes,
that's what he wants to do. That's what he should do. Hopefully, he's clean, and hopefully, he's doing this sober and
not irrationally,
and because that could just lead to more ruining his career because we talked about before. I do believe if he continues down this path, I do strongly believe it's going to be a lot harder for people to decide and let him come back into, it might be a Mel Gibson situation. Not to the extent because Mel Gibson has a totally
Mel Gibson's a whole other
ballpark, but it could be one of those things where it's going to be so hard for him to be allowed back into the bigger movies. He could be doing these small movies, which are fine. There's nothing wrong with that, but it could totally hurt his career. But I can understand wanting to bring down both parties.
Yes, because there is also a petition.
We don't need to talk.
No, it is not fair if we just talk about the one side of the situation. There's another side of this too, and that is Amber Heard. I know you don't want to talk about her because I don't know. I just know you don't want to talk about Amber Heard.
Yeah, I mean, the thing here is the fact that she is now legally labeled an abuse victim. I don't want to talk about an abuse victim. Is that so wrong?
No, but if we're going to talk about what he was labeled as, it's only fair we talk about the other half too.
But what I'm trying to say here is that
there's two sides to the story.
I completely get it, Zach, but because he took it to court, he got labeled what he got labeled.
Yes.
Which I don't agree with. We talked about.
Yeah.
We don't agree with. But she got labeled an abuse victim, and so I don't like talking ill about abuse victims.
I'm not talking ill about her. I'm talking about what's going on. It's only we are being one-sided on this story if we just talk about one.
No, we're just talking about what the headline said.
Yes, but that includes her. It's not fair if we keep her out of the story.
Okay, go. I can't say I'll comment on anything he says.
That's fine. You're allowed to. There is a petition, which I personally, first off, think petitions are stupid. They either
sometimes get the worst.
Sometimes you get the worst out of people, like the whole Killing Me Trans situation back a couple years ago with Last Jedi. Zack Snyder cut is a completely different petition thing. That was for more positive than the negative. I don't think 900,000 people get the right to tell Hollywood what to do. Is their decisions. However, I feel as though I understand Amber Heard has the name abuse victim on her. I understand that. And I know that what Johnny Depp was wrong. Completely and understandably, whether he did it or not, we don't know. But going off what happened in London, I have to understand what the fact they gave us, which is what they did. It does not mean that she has no right to do what Warner Brothers should not treat her any differently between Johnny.
Yes, because of the fact that she is labeled an abuse victim. That is a horrible, horrible PR thing if they're like, okay, you're fired now.
But they're going through a horrible PR thing right now with Johnny Depp.
Doesn't matter. He is labeled a wife beater. So you can fire the wife beater. You cannot fire the person that was beaten. Even if it's not true, think about it like PR wise. It is horrible. Now, I'm not going to lie. I'm on Twitter every single day. There is a ton more fans out there for Johnny Depp, me being one of those included. I mean, I enjoy both parties' work, but like if we're talking about like people, like actual like who I think would be a better person, I'm going to say Johnny Depp in this case, okay? But as work-wise, I enjoy both. I don't think she's a great actress, but I enjoy some of the things she's in. Either way, that's not the important part here. The important part
I'm
here...
not saying cut her from the film. I'm just saying
that's what the petition says, is to fire her.
I think they should diminish her role in Aquaman 2 slightly.
No, I completely agree with that.
That's what I'm trying to say, is that I don't agree with what the petition is asking for. I think what people are asking for is too much. They should let this take its time, diminish her role a little bit, give Arthur a new lead to deal with.
Definitely not going to be making another one.
No, but I don't think Snyder, and I hate talking bad about Snyder, I don't think Snyder's helping the situation at all, bringing her in to do more shoots for Justice League.
But that's different because this is before.
I'm talking about her as a person, not the character.
It doesn't matter because whatever he's bringing her in for is probably important to the story, or it wouldn't be additional at all. This is probably more than likely anything that he's shooting now for Snyder Cut, as we can assume, is important to the story he's trying to tell, which means Mera, at one point, because she's an important character in Aquaman, which makes sense because, it's his, it just read the comics. And that's probably the reason why. And he just got dealt the bad hand.
I agree.
There's other people out there who would say he got dealt the right hand. It depends on what side you are determining, and he can't do anything about that. And he can't now come out and say, well, we cut her footage. He can cut her footage. That's fine. She's still going to get paid because she still did her work. So it won't matter. And I think that's a totally different situation because we won't know until we see the movie because she's already in the movie.
But I would diminish her role a little bit in Aquaman 2. It hasn't shot yet, which I think is what they should do.
Which is already what they're doing. At least that was the rumor, was in case how everything played out, is that both roles are going to be quite smaller than they were in the beginning.
Right.
Which is not part of the reason why it's not so much a bad thing. Johnny Depp isn't a part of Crimes of Grindelwald. Did it continue on?
The film's called Crimes of Grindelwald, and he's barely in the film.
He's not in the second one. He has like 2 scenes.
Right.
And so the third one, I would hope for more scenes. And if that means Johnny Depp can't be in it, it might not be a bad thing, like for like a film wise. Not that I want that to be the case. Not that he was super great in Crimes of Grindelwald.
The opening, although I will say this, the opening's awesome. All I wanted to talk about with the whole Amber Heard situation was how people are reacting to it. I think they're overreacting. The whole petition thing always ends bad. It never ends good for anybody, whether it be the studio or the fans that ask for it. I think Sonic the Hedgehog is a perfect explanation of fans being really rude, really mean, and pressuring them to do something they don't want to do. And I don't
but
want,
it actually worked out. That one worked out for the better.
It worked out in the benefit of the studio and fans, yes, but how we got there was the problem. And I don't think Warner Brothers should be pressured into doing what they want to do with Amber Heard, whether that be removing her set entirely or diminishing her role. It should not be us deciding what to do.
No, I completely agree.
That's all I wanted to talk about.
Okay. Well, we talked about it. Are you happy?
Yes, but this we brought up again when we find out more. We have one more case to go through between the two of these guys next year.
Which means we won't talk about it until like April. So that's good for me. We can stop talking about it now. That's great. Okay, let's talk about the last news story before we jump into reviews and stuff, which is the last part of this. Whew, hold on. Just got to take a deep breath. Okay, I'm good. So, four new castings got announced. We have Danielle Clayton, who I absolutely love. She is from, nope, that's wrong. Danielle Brooks, that's who it is. Who is from Orange is the New Black. She's a phenomenal actress. She's supposed to be playing, I think, a police person, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. Then we have James Gunn's girlfriend at the moment. She'll be coming over from her role in Suicide Squad. Then also the person who does the motion capture for King Shark, who we just talked about, will also be coming over. He plays the warden at the prison. And then we also have the casting for Vigilante, who was originally supposed to be, or what we thought was Idris Elba, is now going to be played by this other person who's been working in Hollywood for a very long time. It was really, it was a fun story. I couldn't tell you who it was, though. I could look it up, but
now the other rumor we heard going around the bend was Harley Quinn making a appearance in Peacemaker as well. I heard there were multiple stories about Margot Robbie coming over and that she didn't want to come over because it's a series. I agree with Grace from that story. I think Kayla Kuko could make a small appearance as Harley Quinn and it wouldn't really affect anything. I really think she could.
Kayla Kuko is probably, I love Harley Quinn. I mean, I love Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn, but Kayla Kuko is a better Harley Quinn. At least her voice is a better Harley Quinn, I should say.
Yes.
And so I wouldn't be super mad about it, but I could see there being a slight outcry. We'll see how popular the TV show gets with HBO Max. We'll see how popular HBO Max is. I mean, it might not even matter. People might not even watch this. So, yeah.
Honestly, I still agree with what I said when it comes to this show. I think they're jumping the gun. No pun intended. I think they're jumping the gun way too fast on this show because I get it. It's supposed to take place before the movie happens. I get it. We have no idea who John Cena's character is. Therefore, they're relying too much on a show to give us more backstory for him, which I get it.
Oh, he's been working since that horrible Mortal Kombat. Wow, everything just...
Wait a minute. He's Johnny Cage?
Yeah.
And he's playing Vigilante?
Yes.
Oh, that's going to be good.
Exactly. So, and so it was a nice story. It was a nice, you get reward. You work really hard in Hollywood. A thing will come. Here's the thing. I think personally, if they can do we're talking about with the Friends thing, they can shoot it real fast, in a nice way, so it's presented really nice or whatever, and they can get it out let's say July or June or something like that.
When does Suicide Squad come out? October?
August. That's why you get out in June or July, and then if you get out in June, you can do a weekly release, and it can release the last episode can air the week before Suicide Squad. So we're leading up with this direct character into Suicide Squad. We don't know if he survives or not, but now we know more information. If we do it in July, you could probably release it more as a binge thing, and you can watch it however you want up until the release of Suicide Squad. I think if they do that, if it's released after the Suicide Squad, this is pointless. You have to try to get it out beforehand, or what is the point?
Because that's what I'm worried about. They're saying it's supposed to be 2021, right? That's what they're saying is when the series is supposed to come out is next year.
But yeah,
if they're shooting it right now, let's say for some ungodly reason, a third wave hits and they have to stop production.
Or it's the second wave.
And it's the second, well, fine. Second wave. And they have to stop production. And they're not able to match the show they are not able to match the movie and show in time.
Well, then here's the thing. I would wait until the movie comes out. I would see the reception of the movie. Mm-hmm. If everybody really loves John Cena's Peacemaker and they want to see more of it, even if he dies,
but then go forward with it.
If they don't,
because this is my problem with their idea is I think if the movie comes out first, we get to know Peacemaker, he dies, then the show after the movie comes out could be a great, prequel origin story for Peacemaker leading into the movie.
Yeah.
You don't need that before the film. I think you should get to know the character in the movie, understand who he is, and then do it. Yeah. I think it does. That is a typical superhero thing. You introduce them in the team, and then they get their spinoff.
I get that, but once again, I think I don't agree, but I think it would work if he's well received. If he's not well received, but also you have the chance of the TV show being horrible, god awful, and then then it tarnishes Suicide Squad.
I don't think it tarnishes Suicide Squad. It tarnishes the Peacemaker character.
No, I mean overall, you get the idea that maybe this is what the movie's like.
Yeah,
and then you're just not super duper excited anymore. So I mean, it's a mixed bag. It's a rough thing. I don't really know if they should have greenlit it in the first place.
DC rushed it again. That's all I have to say. DC rushed again.
Okay. Let's move up to Mandalorian. Talk.
No, you should start this, buddy.
Well, I don't remember episode 2.
Episode 2 is where they get the frog lady.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about episode 2. I remember.
We have to talk about it.
I don't want to. Okay, we talked about. There's been enough stuff that we talked about. I love Baby Yoda. Baby Yoda just stirs.
This should not be a controversy. This was brought up on Facebook, and I want to put this out to the audience and what in general. Baby Yoda eating frog eggs is like us eating chicken eggs.
I don't agree with this.
I do.
I don't.
We still cook them.
Exactly.
Eat them raw.
Here's the thing. It's not so much the fact that Baby Yoda is eating frog legs, okay?
Frog legs?
I mean, frog eggs.
Yes.
It's the fact that these are the last of her species for all mankind, okay? And she has to get them to her husband so she can continue on her. So if he would have ate all those eggs, Baby Yoda literally just killed a race. It's not so much of what he's eating. It's the impact. If they would have just said, oh, yeah, these are just, my husband has the rest. We're just, let's say the stakes weren't, this is the rest of my livelihood. Then I don't think it would have been a huge deal. Also, I have to mention, I think the internet is the one that blew this one up. Okay. I personally think if we would have just watched it, we made a few jokes while watching it. That was kind of gross. We would have moved on. But the internet blew this up.
Because the internet sucks.
And there really isn't a lot to talk about right now, which is part of the reason why the internet sucks. And so I think it just got dealt a bad hand. But I don't really know how much I feel about it. So that's why I don't want to think. I'm really, really happy, though, he didn't eat the baby.
No. And that's why people should also let it go. Because in episode 3, he got a redemption.
I would say got redemption.
Baby Yoda was taught in a way without them knowing, but when he was wrong, he got to experience what life was really like. Yeah. Realized how beautiful it was. And wanted to stay there and play with him, enjoy his company.
I hope that was the case and not for him to eat. I agree. The intention looked like that, but also the intention could have been grab. Cool.
And if you also realized in the episode, they also told us ahead of time that certain scenes involving Baby Yoda with those eggs was cut because of how bad the reception was in episode 2.
Which is also why it's not a bad thing that the reception was so bad. Because I don't know. It's a whole thing, but we don't.
I personally think they had the problem. They fixed it.
I agree. No, I'm not saying I don't agree.
All that being said, I didn't like episode 2 that much anyway.
I didn't like it. I don't like how much they made Baby Yoda a little shit.
I'm not talking about Yoda. I'm talking about the episode in general.
But that was the whole reason why I didn't like the episode.
I didn't like the episode in general.
I mean, for me personally, that was the reason why. Because Baby Yoda was such a little shit.
I don't know where that's going to lead us to at all.
I mean, if you want to do Sith Baby Yoda, I'm all for little Baby Yoda.
Sus Baby Yoda.
I'm very, very looking. That's fine, but I don't know. Maybe figure out other ways to do it to get there.
But all in all, episode 2, not a lot happened. We got to meet the frog lady, which, by the way, I like the frog lady. I like the frog people more and more we see them.
Her jumping around
was just hilarious. It was a great shot of her hands just going. But other than that, it was a typical, find the person, take person to said location, ship crashes, alien invasion, yada yada yada. They get away. Now we get to episode 3, which I think is the best episode of Mandalorian so far this year, or in general, because us being fans of Clone Wars. We got some good things in this episode.
I completely agree, but I want to look at, you know what? No, I don't. I'm just going to be happy for us.
Yes.
But also, I don't know. It's a mixed bag here because
I don't think so.
We did watch with people who had no idea who were on screen or what they were talking about. And so I think there is a negative and there is a positive. One, new people get to experience these characters for the first time. A negative is that I think kind of what they're running on is hoping that everybody has like a great backstory to these characters and understanding of who they are and why they're after the things they're after. And playing with an audience that don't watch the Clone Wars, it makes it a little harder for other people. That's all I'm going to say about it.
That's fine.
But we can be excited.
And so that is why I have decided I'm going to do a rundown of both Bo-Katan and Ahsoka Tano for the channel. Okay. For people who have not known the characters, to give them the episodes they should go watch leading up to Ahsoka's release and get to know more about Bo-Katan and that dark saber, because it'll be very important going through the rest of the season.
It's very exciting for people who do know.
Yes, because
but it's also very confusing for people who don't know.
And for people complaining about Katie Sackhoff's look for the character, they have to remember they're not going off the Clone Wars look. They were going after the Rebels look, because this is not pre-Clone Wars Bo-Katan. This is pre-Rebels Bo-Katan. If you look at her, she looks very much like the Rebels version of Bo-Katan or the Clone Wars one, because she's a little bit older. She's not younger. She's the older version of Bo-Katan.
You could just talk.
And so, but first off, the armor, yeah, see? She looks more like that in the show than she does. So that's Clone Wars. They can't see it. That's Clone Wars, and that's Rebels. That looks more like Katie Sackhoff does than...
they both look very similar to me.
But she looks older than her. That's all I'm saying. She looks older. So therefore, she fits better within how Katie Sackhoff looked in that looks more like the Rebels version of Bo than the Clone Wars one. And again, to say it again, she looks fantastic. The helmet, absolutely perfect. And so we now know episode 5 is possibly where we're going to be getting Ahsoka.
That's the biggest rumor that's going around right now.
Is that we're going to get 5. I personally don't think that's the case. I'm going off of episode order and directing order. We know that Dave Filoni's episode is episode 7, the one before the finale. So she could show up in 5, like she could do like her Boba Fett moment in 5.
God, I hope not.
No, but she has her full moment in episode 7.
I hope not.
Why?
Because I still think episode 7, Dave Filoni should shoot the action scenes. The big action scene with her. And if we don't have a big action scene with Ahsoka this season,
we will.
I won't watch season 3. Gonna play it out there right now. I don't want them to waste these characters. You promised us. You made us excited for them.
I don't think they're gonna be. I don't think they are. What's wrong with Dave Filoni doing the episode with her?
Once again, am only really watching I'm only watching Mandalorian for 2 reasons. Okay,
for Baby Yoda.
I don't really care about the story. I mean, I'm just being honest.
I know.
Okay, we're just being honest.
Yes.
Here. Baby Yoda, and I'm also very excited for Ahsoka. She is my favorite Jedi of all time. She is like my.
But don't you feel like he deserves? He
should be able to play with her, but other people should be able to. That sounds really wrong. He should be able to use the character. That's much better. Should be able to use the character, but other people should be too. Yes. And I personally don't think he should be the one. I think he should be the one to show her in the best light, like to show her when she is at her most best, which is usually when Ahsoka is doing her action scenes.
Hang on. So let me get this straight. You don't think the man who created her can write her well?
I didn't say that.
That's what you said without saying it.
But I did not say that.
That's what you said.
So
you know Filoni wrote the last 4 episodes of Clone Wars, right?
Which, you know me, I think they're great, but I don't think they're the best 4 episodes of the Clone Wars, so... Honestly, if he had any help in that last season, it does not look great, because the last season was just it was painful to watch. I had a hard time. I binge watched it, so I mean it does have credit for that too. But it was a hard time. I'm also really liking how so far it feels like there is no arcs like the first season had, where it's like, oh, we're on this stream for 3 episodes, and then we move on. I like where it's more like a episodic thing, where it's like a continuation with every episode leading into the next episode, and not so much being just so secure.
That I agree with, but I'm also tired of the bounties of the week.
Yeah, but we also got to play with the whole, this is like a Saturday morning cartoon.
No, it's more of a Western than a Saturday morning cartoon.
It's a mixture of both, in my opinion.
Anyway, I enjoyed the episode.
Oh my God, so did I. I got cold chilled and I was very high. Just going to put that out there because I feel like I should when I watch this. And so looking at it, I still am very happy. Not really like her wig. But that's besides the point. That's not her fault. That's just the part.
Also, she's getting way too much slack on the internet right now for her stuff, because this was the biggest argument against her, is that this is why voice actors should not play their characters in live action. I completely disagree. I think she sounds as great as she did on the show.
I don't know. I would be curious. It's a mixed bag. A part of me is like, oh, I'm kind of curious to see.
But this is also why I am for Rosario Dawson playing Ahsoka and not Ashley Eckstein, because Rosario fits an older version of Ahsoka Tano. Eckstein's voice is too young to be an older Ahsoka. Katie Sackhoff played an adult version of Bo-Katan the entire show, and her voice got older with Bo-Katan. Therefore, the voice matches the body that comes out of when she's in live action. Eckstein's voice is too young still to be an older Ahsoka.
I don't know.
I think Rosario is going to do the role justice. I really, really, really do.
I don't know.
Plus, to see Bo-Katan, Ahsoka Tano fight Moff Gideon with a darksaber. I mean,
which should be under Dave Filoni, episode 7. So on that note, let's move on to Freak.
can you?
Okay, Zachary, do you want to start?
Sure. I had a fun time.
I don't know. I just sometimes you tell me you have a fun time, and then
I legit had a fun time. I thought Catherine Newton and Matthew Vaughn were.
This is non-spoiler, by the way.
Yes, non-spoiler. I thought both of them were absolutely fantastic in the movie. My one sad thing for Catherine Newton is that both Vaughn and Newton played the girl very, very well.
Mm-hmm.
My issue with the killer is that both Vaughn and Newton had a one-note person to play.
Mm-hmm.
And so I thought Newton went from being like this overjoyous, overzealot girl to very like monotone and not very talkative. And I get that's a killer instinct, but
I kind of liked it.
I feel like she didn't have enough to play with when she was the killer.
I completely agree with that. Yeah.
But I think Vaughn of the two, I think did the whole girl thing very, very well from when he first wakes up to when we see him later in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get the whole notions what people were saying about the ripoff of Scream.
I did.
I didn't.
I did. Now the kills, I'd say they weren't as simple as Scream goes.
No, there were certain kills that was like, whoa.
But for the first like 10 minutes, the opening act, I'd say I wouldn't say it was a blatant ripoff, but I can definitely see where the vibes were. Now that's not to say there was other parts of this movie that I would say are blatant ripoffs of Scream.
Now the one thing I did not like in the movie that were very annoying, to be honest, were her friends.
Oh, I loved her.
I did not like her friends at all. I feel like in certain scenes they were important, but in other scenes I feel like they took away from the scene. And it's hard to talk about this movie and certain characters in this film without sounding like I'm racist or neglecting of people in their ways of life. And that's not the case.
That's such a weird way to put that, but okay.
Her one friend I thought was way over the top. I thought he made too many very impure, wrong jokes. And I know people. I know people in life that are, including you, that are part of the LGBT community, and I think they were overdoing it.
See, okay, here's the thing. I personally don't think Zachary can talk on this. Just because you are not a part of the LGBT community. And, well, I mean, you can, obviously, because it's a character, and you can talk about what you want. So that's perfectly fine. Sorry, I said that the wrong way. I just don't think your opinion really matters. I'm just kidding. It doesn't. It doesn't. So I personally, as a person, gay. Okay, the character was gay. We're not. Watch the trailer. The character was very gay. I really related to the character. There's a lot of things that he said that I would have said in high school. As a hormonal teen boy in a very raunchy R-rated comedy. I mean, Sandpaper. Without giving anything away, just gonna say Sandpaper right here. You know, it was a very raunchy, over-the-top film as it was, and so I think he fit really well, in my personal opinion, of being a part of the community. But I also can see from the outside perspective where it would be a little too much. I get both ways here. There was one joke in the first third that I did not like. That I also didn't like how it played a part of the last third either.
You know which one I'm talking? I think that's what I'm talking about.
I think we can't say it, but there was one that
involved the theater. The theater. When they're all sitting together in the theater.
Nope. Does not.
Okay.
It's okay though. It's okay. But yeah. Either way, there was only one joke in it that I thought went too far, but it was written by someone who was gay. So I mean that doesn't happen very often. That many screenwriters are a part of the LGBT community. So overall, I thought it was fine representation.
I also thought there were some very cliche things in the film, and I get it's a horror movie, but the whole drunk mom thing and the overprotective
very
sister.
slasher.
We've seen it, done it, we got it.
Very
I
slasher.
honestly expect more out of Blumhouse when it comes to their horror films because
I don't.
okay, you're just going off of Fantasy Island.
No, I'm going off of I've seen every Blumhouse film out there. You name it, I've seen it. This is very typical Blumhouse.
But not to this extent, though. They're more sophisticated when they want to be.
When they want to be, which is very rare. Blumhouse is a very cheap horror film. They put out great films. I like the really bad one. I mean, I enjoyed this movie. I'm going to go see it again this week. That's how much I enjoyed it that I would recommend it to someone who was, if you're looking to go see something in theaters right now,
It's a fun time.
I think you should go see Freaky.
Shorter than Tenet.
It is shorter than Tenet. You have that going for you. And most people say if you're going to go see a movie, you should see a movie less than 2 hours in theaters. Now, me and Zach, we saw 2 movies that day, so we failed that. But like we were on the right page.
We'll get to the other one.
But I don't know. I really liked it. I thought the kills were unique.
My favorite kill, it was in the trailer. You see it, you don't see what happens, but it's a saw.
And
That was so cool.
I, however, thought some things were a little too played into. I don't know if Zachary understands exactly what I mean by that, but that's okay. I
also didn't like the whole curse thing.
Oh, see that's fine. That's the whole point of the movie.
When they're about to stab the woman and it goes to Aztec times.
Yeah.
I didn't think that was needed. Just stab the girl and go with the thing.
No, I think I liked it, but it's okay if you didn't like it.
Overproduction where it did not need to be. It didn't fit the overall tone of the film. That's all.
Okay, sure. I personally think this would have been a great thing to use as it needed a backstory.
Yes.
I think this would be a great movie with a prequel.
Oh yeah.
But not for the knife, for the killer.
Yes, I would totally watch a what's he called in the movie?
I don't even know.
It's not Night Stalker. That's American Horror Story, which I highly recommend. Like the Butcher.
The Butcher.
Yeah, it's the Butcher.
Yeah.
I would totally see a Matthew Vaughn led Butcher origin story, like how he got to that point.
And
it leads right into the first and right into the freaky, like when he gets to the house. I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah.
I like the characters enough to see more with them, but I don't know how you would do a Freaky 2.
Oh, if it does well, they'll figure it out.
Like,
and this movie doesn't even have to do really well. It's really cheaply made, so under pandemic standards, it can only make $4 million opening weekend and be fine. So,
I think legit the highest budgeted Blumhouse movie is probably Halloween, probably.
Yeah, they're up there with the high budgets. Okay.
I'm shocked you didn't see the Halloween Kills trailer in front of this movie, to be honest.
It was a teaser. They only show full-length trailers in front of it.
That's not true. Star Wars. They show every single version of that advertisement.
Yeah, but Star Wars are always a minute long.
Yeah.
You have to be...
How long was the Halloween? Not the new one, the first one. The one with them in the truck.
Yeah, that's 30 seconds.
That's enough.
No, it's not. No, it's not enough. I'm sorry. It's just not enough.
All right, so
I was really surprised. I mean, I'm not that surprised because we're in a pandemic, but normally Blumhouse puts exclusive trailers in front of them. Like Happy Death Day. When I went and saw Happy Death Day 2, I saw the first trailer for Halloween when I saw Happy Death Day 2 as an exclusive trailer.
So, out of 5, what would you give Freaky?
Oh, definitely a 4. I enjoyed it a lot. I really liked it.
I give it a 3.75. I had a good time. I had some issues. But if I had to go watch something in the theater again with some friends, Freaky would definitely be the one I would pick.
And I think that's a very respectable score as well. I think it's a B-level film. I think it's fun.
But in a good way. It's not like in the atrocity, Mortal Kombat Annihilation way of B-level movie films.
Not if I had to grade it, it would be a B, not like a B-level horror film. I think this is better than a B-level horror film.
I agree.
I think the directing could have been a little better. I was a little sad about it.
Going from Happy Death Day to that. I think it's kind of
because Christopher Landon, I think he could do more, but it is what it is. All righty. That brings us to the last thing, and that's Zachary. What have we been watching?
Oh boy. We've watched some stuff.
So, do you want to talk about what you watched before you came? Did you watch anything before you came? Because we missed last week's podcast, so did you watch anything last week? We weren't together?
No.
Okay. So,
obviously DuckTales.
That's probably about it. That's true. Okay.
But while I've been here, we watched a movie called Coherent. The first time I was here, we watched Coherence. That was an interesting experience to behold. The night after that, I watched Mom and Dad, which again, a night of experience to behold. And then the day after that was when I watched Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah.
I watched Spider-Man.
Wow. Yeah.
And me and Jacob found out there's a lot of people in Spider-Man we didn't know.
Oh my gosh, Octavia Spencer, what are you
That
doing?
was the
in
one
this?
that shocked him the most. Julian for one scene.
Oh, it's because we watched The Witches.
Oh wait, yeah.
We did watch. See, that's sad.
Should that be a full review?
No, it doesn't deserve it. It doesn't.
Well, then you can talk about Witches when we get to it. I had a fun time. I think Witches is on that level of fun that Freaky was. I really do. I think it. If you can get past,
bad for Witches.
No, there are certain aspects to Witches I don't think are good. But if you're looking for like a fun family scary movie time, if your kids are older than 10, I think you guys will have a fun time watching it.
Okay. Yeah.
But Spider-Man was a nice film. I forgot how good Raimi's movies are. It makes me want to go back and watch 2 and stop after that.
No, I feel like you should watch 3. I feel it.
I think Into the Spider-Verse puts it perfectly. And I did that. That's all we have to say. And then obviously the highlight film I watched while I was here is my brother and my mother are fantastic people because we saw Toy Story, and Jacob has a video of my reaction to him telling me we're seeing Toy Story. I think it's enough to say how much I enjoyed the movie. And also Toy Story for being Pixar's first film, very adult movie.
Sid.
No, Buzz. The stuff with Buzz's mental crisis and then the teapot scene.
Yeah, I guess.
And Sid too. Sid's sadistical and crazy and just wow.
Yeah, there's a lot of questions.
Yeah, I am Mrs. Nesbit.
I did, however, have a takeaway.
This is all he's been talking about since seeing Toy Story. Jacob.
I had one takeaway, and honestly, it's my review for the film. For Toy Story, which is what that says. You can't tell because the lighting. Woody is a dick.
Oh, and then we watched Toy Story 2. And Jacob?
Woody is still a dick.
He has a heart by the end of the movie.
He has a slight heart. It's like kind of there, but it's like not really.
Jacob, let me ask you an honest question. In Toy Story 2, who's more of a dick? Stinky Pete or Woody?
Woody.
Really?
Stinky Pete has reasons.
What's his reasoning?
He just wants to be there. He wants to go.
But Woody also realizes that staying behind a piece of glass is not going to help a kid.
Yeah, but Sneaky Pete's not something you play with. Staying behind a piece of glass for Sneaky Pete could be the best thing for his life.
But not for Jesse and Bullseye.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, Zachary.
By the way, the theory about Jesse's original owner being Annie's mom, after watching 2 again, still makes the most goddamn sense.
I mean, the first film, he's holding a hat that is Jesse's.
And he's also wearing that red hat a lot in 2.
Yeah, I didn't pay attention.
I think 2 is better than 1, personally.
Oh, yeah, I definitely agree.
On a lot of aspects.
I think 2 is probably superior. I think 2 is the best Toy Story film.
No, we didn't watch the best one. I think 2's a good movie. Toy Story 3 is the masterpiece of the 4.
For me, it goes 2, 3, probably.
1. Even 4.
And then all the shorts.
Which we watched all of them, and they were all very good.
Even the shorts for Forky. And then any other shorts that I might have missed. And then possibly it might need a ranking is 4.
For me, it would go 2, 3, 4, 1.
Oh wow, I feel horrible taking you to see that horrible movie then.
No, I love 1.
Are you sure?
Yes.
4 is not Zachary.
No, I love
one of these days, I think
can I just say I love a movie and let it be the bottom of the list? I still love I still have Thor: The Dark World, and it's the bottom of my list, my MCU collection. I still love the movie though, because it's a fun film.
Don't really know how to unpack that.
Thor is a fun movie.
I don't know. That's fine. That's fine. That's your opinion.
So as I was saying,
sorry, right.
But I enjoy story aspects more involving 4 than 1. I think the villain in 4 is stronger than Sid. Mm-hmm. I think the motivations of the doll are better than Sid's because of what she wants to accomplish with. And also, I don't care if I'm against the grain or not. I think Forky's one of the best additions of Toy Story that I've ever had. I really, really, really. I think he brings a lot to every character that he meets. But 3 is an important film. It always will be. It's the most important film involving my personal adolescence into adulthood. About how it's easy to move on from toys, but the toys will never move on from you. And I personally like that mentality that you'll always be immortal to them. I like that. And then watching a lot of Dawson's Creek. That's been fun. And then we started American Horror Story. Well, not started. We were halfway done with American Horror Story 1984. And saying it right now, because you're sitting with me and I love you, I much prefer it over Roanoke. Much preferred over Roanoke. And started Spider-Man. That's it.
And
Assassin's Creed.
And we watched 300.
Oh, did we?
We did.
Is it sad that I remember something more out of that commentary than the actual film?
That's fine. It doesn't matter. But we did watch 300.
Yes, we did.
That's it. That's all. If you want to watch 300, you totally can.
Go for it.
It's a little weird, but you can do it. It's your choice. It was fun. It was fun. We had a fun time.
Yes, we did.
So
what have you been watching there, brother?
I haven't really been watching anything. I watched The Mandalorian. I watched Freaky. I watched Coherence. I watched Toy Story.
I feel like you're just copying my list.
I watched 300. I watched bits and pieces of Spider-Man. I watched an episode of Station 19.
That just happened today.
And that's it. That's all I've watched. There you go.
You sound sad.
I am kind of sad. Not gonna lie.
But what did the majority of your time take place with this week while I was here?
Well, I played a lot of Sims.
And
this other game that I kind of really like, but like it's kind of horrible as well.
Jake.
No, it's phenomenal.
And
you should totally buy it. The Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Honestly, this weekend of games,
it's been great.
They really topped themselves off, I gotta tell you.
I still have one more to try when I get home.
I'm not trying.
I know you're not, but I am.
I won't even watch people play it. It gives me headaches.
Call of Duty, people. Call of Duty.
I think they understood.
And we're still not done. Next week. We got more coming out next week. The PS5 and Xbox One Series X are out, baby.
So what's coming out next week?
They're releasing new games. Demon Souls is next week for PlayStation 5. And I know this is not really counted as a new release, but it is the entire Halo Master Chief Collection finally has Xbox Series X. I don't know why I didn't launch with the system, but it's finally really launching with the next week.
That's how I feel about they already have it. It's already there.
It's there.
It's there. It's been there. All right. Let's talk about movie commentaries, Zach.
All right. So, my original plan was Knives Out, and then we are doing Tangled.
Mm-hmm.
But I have thought about it, and I think a film that we have not watched in a while, because you've seen Tangled how many times?
That's a lot.
A lot.
That's a lot.
And I like Tangled. It's not my favorite Disney movie. I think we should watch something we haven't seen together in a while since the theater.
Oh.
And that is why it is on HBO Max. We will be watching, for my film for November, Pokemon Detective Pikachu.
Oh, really?
Yep. I haven't seen it since the theater. It's been a while since I've seen the movie. I know it's been a while since you've watched the movie. I think it'd be fun. Because you and I both, we've seen the other two movies countless times. I think Detective Pikachu will be a lot of fun. Plus, with you starting playing the Shield game while I'm gone, I think we're both kind of in the Pokemon mood. I think it'll be fun. So, Pokemon Detective Pikachu will be the film that I have chosen for November.
All right, what day are you off this week?
Thursday.
All right, the 19th, Thursday 19th at 7 o'clock, right?
That works.
Between 7 and 8, somewhere around
We will
there.
be watching Pokemon Detective Pikachu.
And then either the 28th on Saturday the 28th or Sunday the 29th, depending on when he gets home.
I'll let you know.
He'll let me know his schedule.
Yep.
It will probably be kind of later. I want to try to get it in November is a thing.
Mm-hmm.
It could even be Friday the 27th, depending on...
Again.
We'll figure it out. We're going to be watching Happiest Seasons, which is a Hulu original.
Which I'll need to get the information for said Hulu. Can't have it on my PlayStation.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's fine. All right.
But yeah, in November. I think that's two very...
Now, it's going to be kind of interesting because... Well, actually, no, we'll probably both watch it with commercials. Never mind.
What Happiest Seasons?
Yeah. Because I can't put my non-commercial one on here, and only one person can watch it at a time. So it'd probably be better if we just both watch it with commercials.
Oh, I did watch something else today. Me and Mom watched SVU.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that started.
And let me tell you, if you want to watch something that's of the times, watch Law and Order Special Victims Unit, because that show is going to change dramatically.
So that brings us to actually, what have we been watching for next time? I mean, I didn't ask.
Hey Jacob, look at the time.
I know, we're doing so good. All right, Zachary, is there anything you want to shout out? We have a few extra minutes. Is there anything?
Yes, like I said during the Mandalorian commentary, probably on my day off or when I get home today or when I get home sometime this week, I'll be shooting a kind of teaching lesson on both Bo-Katan and Ahsoka Tano. Give you guys the episodes you guys need to watch leading up to Ahsoka's appearance in Mandalorian, and also where to go back to for Clone Wars and Rebels for Bo-Katan, because you want to know more about these two characters going forward for the rest of the season or for the rest of the series, probably. I will also be starting my second playthrough for Miles Morales, because I then believe I'm going to probably beat the game while I'm here, because I'm almost done, I'm guessing now. I'll be doing my second playthrough of Miles Morales on my channel, along with starting a Zombies playthrough on Call of Duty. Assassin's Creed will be waiting until the new year starts, because that's a lot of game to play.
Okay, that sounds cool. For me, I don't really tend to like to announce things just because it means you have to do them, but I want Zachary to fall in that trap. So I'll be editing that video. That's something I'll be doing. I have daily uploading going on my current channel in case you like Sims. I'm stream 3 days a week in case you like Sims.
What came out for Sims this week that you just did a bunch of stuff on?
Oh yeah, the new expansion pack came out. That's what all the new stuff is on. And then we might have a special thing coming for you guys. Well, we might have 2 special things coming for you guys this week as well. But I don't want to make any promises, so I'm not going to say what it is. And that's that. It's just me, not him. He's not part of it, so he doesn't have to forget. Yeah, just Jacob. Alrighty. That brings us to the end. Zachary, do you want to do an outro?
Da 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 da.